Welcome back to the Inside Out Shift, the podcast where we talk about the identity shifts, mindset breakthroughs, and behind the scenes pivots of bold women who've left traditional careers to build something that feels aligned, impactful, and theirs. And I'm your host, Evgenia Baikova, business mindset strategist and Clifton Strengths expert. And I help women build businesses that work and feel good without recreating the burnout they walked away from. And today I'm joined by Victoria Odekomaya, founder and CEO of LiMStudios, a full service creative marketing agency and content studio in Indianapolis. A former drug research scientist turned entrepreneur, Victoria has built a movement around visibility, storytelling, and leadership. And she is also the visionary behind Boss Ladies magazine. And she is a host of the Own Your Brand show. Her work has already raised over $30,000 for nonprofits in Indiana, and her mission is very clear: to help women be seen, be heard, and be paid while building a legacy that lasts. Victoria, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And let's start with your own transition. You went from a structured career in science, oh my God, into building absolutely different thing, creative business. What
Yes.
was the biggest mindset shift you had to make to move from employee to entrepreneur?
I think for me, it had to be that this is mine, like I'm creating something for myself as opposed to building something for other people. And I needed to take ownership of that and pursue it and give it everything that I could as much as I know how to. So that was definitely my biggest mindset shift. But it wasn't
Interesting.
easy. It didn't come easy because I still thought like being in corporate. I remember one time I had an event that I had scheduled and well, it's not like I forgot, but I didn't I was having some issues because I was traveling a lot. I didn't think that the date was gonna work. But I
Mhm.
didn't think that I could change that date because I thought, oh, it's already out there. There's nothing I could do about it until I was like, wait a minute, I had some conversation with friends, I believe
Fine.
even you. Yeah, you are like, wait a minute, you can move this date. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I
Mhm,
can. I'm
mhm.
in control now. So the mindset shift is just knowing that I am in control of this new
Mhm.
phase of my life.
Yeah, and we will be talking about that, right? So, and I really appreciate you sharing that. Like, this is mine, and I am in control of that. But also, you know that we women we are experiencing so many worries, and I do know that you spoken about worrying that you have an accent. Well,
Mhm.
I have an accent too, but well, many women carry doubts about, I don't know, age, experience, credibility, diplomas, certificates, background. What
Mhm.
helped you turn self doubt into strengths?
I think knowing that, so I'm in the branding and marketing space, right? And the thing is that you have to figure out what makes you different.
Mm.
So for me, even though, yes, I worried about my accent, people understanding me, that I was clear, but I began to realize that sometimes people will lean in when I talk and they would smile or they would get excited and then they would ask questions like, so where are you from? And I was like, wait a minute, it's actually, maybe I could use this as my strength. So I think in response to how people responded to the thing that was my biggest struggle was when I was paying attention to that and I realized, okay, well, if they're getting excited about it or they love hearing about it, maybe I need to lean into it more and make that my superpower.
I love that. I love that. And I am also, big fan of superpowers because, well, this is a great self-awareness.
Mm.
And to me, being self-aware and what makes you unique, this is the foundation of your success.
Yes.
And talking about success, well, I know that you started Lean Studios with just a camera and a dream. So, what would you say to those who hesitate to begin until they feel fully ready?
I think you should not don't do that. That's the number one thing I'm gonna say to them.
You
Go.
hear, don't do that, don't do that.
Well, here's the thing. Unless you try, you're not going to know what works and what doesn't work. No amount of people telling you what to do, no amount of courses or YouTube videos, anything that you do is going to give you that experience that you need. And everybody's journey is going to be different. So unless you try and maybe even fail, you're not going to
Mhm.
know what works for you. And so I think that the fear of failure should not stop us at all, because when you fail, and we don't even should call it failure, because by you trying already is a success.
Yeah.
But like you doing it teaches you what not to do and what to do
Mhm.
or differently. So yeah, I would say definitely don't hold back, just launch. The other thing is that while you're waiting, trying to perfect it or researching or doing things, some of the people that have the same ideas, they've already launched and gone way further that, but than you. And sometimes that could even stop people like, oh well, now so and so is doing it, I don't want to do it again. Well, if you had
Mhm.
started, you will be the one that people are saying, oh wow, she started it and now she's doing it. So I just want to encourage anyone listening, like if you're afraid of starting, go for it. I think that should be the motivation to say, you know what, let's just do it.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. And again, this is about your dream,
Yeah.
right? This is not about someone else's dream.
Oh yeah.
And well, dream bigger, right? So if your dream is big, if you know why you do that, why
Mhm.
to wait?
Right. It's like life is passing us by. We
Oh
cannot
yeah.
get the time that we had before back. So you might as well use the time to do something that you enjoy doing, to
Mhm.
hopefully go in the direction of living your dream and achieving your goals. So I definitely, I guess the older I get, the more aware of time I am. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
ooh, I'm getting older. Like, maybe how much more time do I have? So
Mhm.
this is the time that I'm trying to now take advantage of it and do what I've been wanting to do more of. Like, let's just try it. At least I tried.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, especially that we as entrepreneurs, we're experiencing so many challenges, not just, wasting time by not making decisions or overthinking, but also, we came from corporate or from 9 to 5. And sometimes, not sometimes, but in majority of times, we see how titles define us.
mhm.
And as an entrepreneur, you had to define it for yourself.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
Can you talk about this, Victoria?
Yeah, you have to, and I'm not saying this because I figured it out. I am still very much figuring it out, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm learning really fast on the job that you have the control over this thing, and whatever it is what you making it to be.
Mhm.
So yes, I might not have the title that I had in corporate. But hey, I have a CEO title or a founder title, and I'm gonna make it whatever what that means to me. I was talking to India Brown, and I've mentioned this on so many podcasts, because I just really, that resonated with me what she said. She said, we have to define what success looks like for us.
Yes.
And that was so profound to me, because I think that as women, sometimes we have that pressure of,
Mhm.
letting what other people think about us overshadow us, or, lead us in any one direction or the other. But like when you define what success means to you, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And I'm learning to be more, to do that more and more. Like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. Whether if succeeds or not, or fails, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. But I chose to define
Mhm.
the way it is. And I think that's, definitely a way to live life by.
Yeah, and regarding titles, well, you can even promote yourself every year or every month, or I don't know, right? So you can do that for yourself.
Yeah, because like why not? Like today I am the CEO, tomorrow I'm the founder. Like you can
Yep.
it like there are no rules, if you will. This
Hmm.
is yours, and it's kind of like dressing up every day, right? You choose what you want to wear. Like, when we get an invitation to come to an event, they say chick cocktail chic or something. Like you
Hmm.
decide how you like, if whether or not you wear cocktail chic, that's a whole different thing, right? But like if you decide to go with a dress code, you can choose whatever outfit you
Yes.
want. So it's similar, when it comes to building a business. Like it is your dream, you get to build it, you understand it much more than anybody else. We don't even know what you're building. Nobody
Hmm.
else knows what we're building. Nobody else knows what the ideas are. Like they're really like seeing it from the outside, and whatever we're producing is what they are seeing.
Yeah.
So we can just we whatever we create is what it is, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense absolutely. And I was about to ask you something. So we were talking about how to what defines you, right? Being an entrepreneur, but also, how to give yourself permission to be that person.
yeah,
Yeah, that's another whole topic.
that's it's a whole different topic because like I said, I'm still like learning how to do this because giving yourself permission is, I think, maybe the foundation of that, right? If you know
Hmm.
that, yeah, I can create whatever this is, but like knowing that you can do it and actually doing it, they're a whole completely different conversation. So yeah, I think just like mentorship helps a lot, having business besties like you. Like we keep each other accountable. I feel like every time I have a conversation with you, you tell me what you help me see my value,
Hmm.
and that helps me. You even sometimes give me the permission. So like Victoria, like we said earlier, like I was trying really hard to like do this whole launch on this particular day, and I had so much travel to do, and you were like, you can move this around, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess I can. So,
Hmm.
yeah, sometimes you just need a friend, close friend that you trust to remind you that you are still in charge.
Yes, absolutely. And this is the advice that I'm giving to all of my clients and those who I know who think about switching or who is in the business. Because, well, having a best friend, that's good. That's great. But having a business bestie, that means that you have someone who really understands what are you walking through, like, what are you experiencing right now, and this person can support you, not just sugarcoating that, well, everything is fine, or being so like bringing some toxic positivity to the table, but this person will tell you, okay, you've got this, like you really got this, and this person will not just tell nice words about you, it will this person will challenge you, will ask some uncomfortable questions, right? Because sometimes we just so afraid to ask those questions ourselves.
Right. And I think that this person also, you get to be vulnerable, 100% vulnerable, transparent, and honest with this person. Because I feel like because we just want to appear as successful, we don't always get the chance to tell people when we are down. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, because then that negates the appearance of success. But when you have someone that you can just say, look, today is not the day. Like this is how
Hmm.
I'm really, really feeling. And they can, give you like good quality, feedback. I think that is so important. And that's something that I really appreciate about you.
Oh,
Like
thank you. Yes. Yeah, same here. Absolutely. I know that I can bounce any ideas with you. And I really appreciate that opportunity actually, because sometimes you can just stuck with some idea, or you can stuck sitting in indecision, or and you just need a fresh perspective. And this
absolutely.
is it. Probably you need just perspective and not support, or
Yeah.
vice versa. And yeah, you can get that.
Right. Or sometimes just to listen because you
Yep.
just want to vent or you just want to say,
Right.
yeah, yeah, that part too. Or like you're ideating and you just want someone to like listen and make sure that it makes sense. So
Yeah. Yeah, like you are not insane. Yes. Because
like
sometimes we are getting some crazy ideas, right?
we always get ideas. I think that's why the foundation of being an entrepreneur, like this just always coming true, as a
Yes.
creator too. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and talking about ideas, and I know that you are a big fan of visibility, and you often describe visibility as a strategy. Well, but I know that showing up, oh my God, this is scary.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering what internal shifts allowed you to consistently put yourself out there?
Oh man, for me, I think it's just well, it's sort of what I do, right? So I think this might be a little bit difficult for me to answer unbiasedly, but for me, because it's just easy for me, right? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I grew up loving advertising. I'm the one that would listen to commercials every day, right? Just watch it and see what they're doing and how did they come up with those ideas.
Mm.
So, but I know that okay, I'm running a business now, and unless people know that I have a business and something to offer, then they're not going to patronize me, they're not going to come. And so, and if people are not coming to the business, then I don't, and I'm not having clients, then it's not a business, it's a hobby. So
Mhm.
I needed to like figure out a way for me to make sure that this turned into a hobby. I mean, from a hobby to a business. So when I was transitioning from corporate to my business, I did it part time. I did my business part time, and my goal at the time was to make at least the same amount of money as I was making in corporate, so that way I knew that I could quit my
Mhm, mhm,
corporate
mhm,
job and then go full time. So for me, it immediately stopped being a hobby because I had an intention. I was very intentional about
mhm,
matching my income. So I knew that I needed to get the number of clients. I had it all written down, like I need this many clients, this many, so that
mhm.
this many, all of that. So that way I can match my income. So for me, it was really important. So that's why showing up was super easy, because I know I needed to show up to get people to know what I
Mhm,
did,
mhm.
explain what I did to them so that I can turn them into clients. And then, so I think when I look at it that way, it just made it easy and makes sense to me, so.
Yeah, because that's not a hobby, right? So this is your company, and well, it needs to bring some money. And you reminded me about the conversation I had a couple of days ago with a friend of mine, and she's also a coach, and she wants to get more clients, but
Mhm,
she's hesitant with her marketing. Like, well, I don't want to show up, I don't want to do some videos, I don't want. But well, this is well not the only one instrument of getting clients. Of course, there are some others, but I believe that this is something foundational,
mhm,
right? If you don't want to be on video, well, there are tons of other approaches and frameworks that you can use and be creative with that.
mhm.
Because just sitting and wanting, this is nothing. It's a work. Like, it's not a hard work, it's fun work, and it's about being creative. And I believe that we all are very creative.
Absolutely. So one thing that I always tell people, my clients, is like all forms of marketing work. We just
Yeah.
need to figure out what works for you.
Hmm.
Just run with that. So so I completely agree. If the person finds out that video doesn't work for them, there are so many other ways, and AI makes it easy these days, right? So but it's important that no matter what you do, you have to show up in a whatever that is. Like, if it's not video, is it blogging, is it email marketing, whatever it is, right? Or
Hmm.
advertising, or whatever it is. Like, just figure out what that is, so that showing up part is not may not be physically, right, in terms of physically, but it has to happen,
Hmm. Hmm.
this in this day and age.
Yes. Well, yeah. And thank you. Thank you for sharing this too. And I also want to talk about Boss Ladies Magazine, of course. And with Boss Ladies Magazine, actually, you've created, well, I would say the platform that amplifies women's voices.
Mhm.
In your view, what's the biggest inner barrier that keeps women from claiming visibility and leadership?
I think it's the fear of what other people might say.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, it's like, I think that we know we have the power, or maybe we don't know fully, but we're so worried about what others would think of us, or what
Mhm.
people would say about us, that it stops us from truly becoming what we are meant to do, and which is kind of counterintuitive, because we're supposed to be using our talents to help other people, but we're for some reason worried about what those people are going to say about us using our talent. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm,
I think there's something there, but I mean that's what I find most people. When people say, I don't," we want to play small, or we're worried about, it's usually because we maybe we've been, we are us the way we are raised to, like, be proper, and be don't say certain words. So it's about what other people are thinking. It's not
mhm.
necessarily what we want, or what makes sense for us. So yeah.
Yeah, and also we just talked about the titles.
Hmm.
So, for example, my biggest title was HR director. So,
Hmm.
how can I imagine myself being a former director, recording some fun videos? But, well, I am funny.
Yeah.
I love humor. I love that stuff. So, of course, I was hesitant. But when I tried, when I get some nice feedback from others, well, that was just the validation. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we just need, to believe in ourselves and our dreams, and that clients are there, they need us.
Right. I think that what you're also saying is also because we tie our identity to a title or to a certain thing, and then we forget that we are multidimensional, we are
Oh
multi-talented.
yeah.
And the more we start exploring the other parts of us beyond our title as a mom, as an HR director, as a scientist, whatever that is, the more we get to live our life fully, because there's so much part to us. Like, I'm from Nigeria. I'm a mom. I have a studio. I love creating videos. I like having fun with my friends. Like, there's so many parts to us, right? So I think that we don't want to be limited to the title, and
Yeah,
yeah.
title or even paycheck. And now let's talk about money, such a hot topic
Mhm.
nowadays. So we know that you raised over 30,000 for nonprofits while you were running a profitable business. So what advice would you give to women who want to earn well and they want to make an impact, but well, they somehow hesitant or feel guilt about charging?
Oh, okay. So I feel like, okay, this is the way I think about it. I can be very logical sometimes. And the way I think about it is like, I have bills to pay, right?
Mhm,
And when I was working in corporate, we had the conversation early on when I got hired that this is how much we're gonna, pay you. And I had, what my bills were. When I was working hourly, I knew how many hours I needed to work extra to make the pay. It's no different for me. I have a business to run, and in order for it to be a business, I needed to make a certain amount of money to keep the, things, to keep my lights on. So
mhm,
I think that when we look at it logically, and that you have some obligations, I think it reduces the fear of
mhm,
charging what
mhm,
you need to charge in order to make your ends meet. You and I have talked about how I have a big bill, having this physical
yep,
location. It's
yep, yep.
completely different from when I was in my studio. I mean, in my garage, right? It
Mhm,
was
mhm,
the house bill and that was it. But now I have that. And so for me, I still enjoy doing all the things that I'm doing, but I know that I needed to make it to be
mhm,
making a lot more money to be able to meet my obligations. So I just see it as it's as simple as that. Like, if I
mhm.
need to make this much money to be able to be okay, that's the goal.
Yeah, and I would say that like this is the part of your job description right now, right? So that you are not just creating if you are a creator, you are not coaching if you are a coach, right? This is your this is part of your job description. You have to do that part too.
Absolutely. We have to be very honest with ourselves. What do I need to
Mhm,
keep it going? And I think that, and it's a very difficult conversation to have because, again, you don't want to talk about money, but it's not, we're not trying to be, no, no, it's just be honest with, like, this is how much it costs.
mhm,
It's like we can't go to Walmart and find a piece of bread for $5. You're not going to tell Walmart, well, what if I, like, can I have it for free, or maybe I pay $2. Like, we
yeah.
just pay, like, So it's,
Mhm,
yeah, I feel like it's not. We need to start looking at it that way. It's a black and white. We need to make this much. You have the talent to
mhm.
provide the services, and we
Yeah.
need to charge, appropriately to meet our basic necessities.
Yeah, and I know that sales psychology, this is a complete different topic, but also, yesterday I had a conversation and lady mentioned to me, well, I have to sell myself. And I just told her, well, stop right there. You are
Mm.
not selling yourself. You are
You're not yourself.
serving people because you are talented and you know how to help them.
Absolutely.
That changed her perspective totally. And she was
Mhm.
like, wow.
Yeah, we're selling a service, right? We're literally solving a problem. And people, when they see that you solve their problem, in fact, it is priceless.
Hmm.
When someone has a deep, deep problem and you're able to bring a solution to that really, really big problem that they have, they will pay you the world and over.
Hmm.
So I think that we need to shift our mindsets about how we, like, it's sales, right? It's We're solving a problem, and with that comes with some form of exchange.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And again, we can talk about marketing here as well. So, how they will know that you exist, right?
Oh,
That's another thing.
yeah.
How they will learn that, well, this person actually can fix everything for me.
Yeah, we got to tell them. That's why the visibility is important.
Mhm,
That's why
mhm,
we got to show up and have our clarity on our offers. I know you have a program, helping people get clear on their offer. I think I
mhm,
see a lot of us not having clarity on our offer. So because we are not clear on the offer, we don't even know how to market it.
Yep.
And when people ask us the question, we don't even know how to talk about it,
Mhm.
even though we are very talented and we have the solution to their problem. So that is really important, like getting clarity on what you offer and how it solves other people's real problem, and then going out there and shouting out to the world that, hey, I can do this for you because I know
Mhm.
how to do it.
Yes, exactly. And you just mentioned that you're a mom, and I know that you have two amazing boys.
Thank
And
you.
also, I know that you've created your own rhythm. It's not like, the perfect balance, but how did you build a flow that works for both family and business?
I don't know that it's balanced, but we're still working on it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that this is not a balance. This is kind of a rhythm, and that could be different, right? One day it's this rhythm, another day it's different.
I like the word reading. Mike. That's a really good one. So the way we are working it right now, like my husband now officially works in the business. So, you know,
Ah,
yeah, so it's just an amazing. I mean, I'm loving this partnership. We're working together. So, and then over the summer, my kids were also working in the business too. So they had their summer jobs, and they
mhm.
are content creators too. So that was easy for them. They didn't really like coming here all the time anyway, but because they want to do their own things. But it was for me a way for us to spend more time together, as well as teach them some entrepreneurial skills, because
Mhm.
who knows, right? They might end up on, I mean, at least one of them wants to be a YouTuber, which being a YouTuber also means being an entrepreneur, right? So
Yeah.
so that's how we're balancing it right now. Just like finding a common ground where we can all be together, work together, and still enjoy the things that we love to do.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think that our audience will appreciate that, especially that, we have kids, we have families, we have other things in our life, not just us in our businesses, right? And for example, this summer, I also realized that I want to spend with my kids, and two of them are almost adults, and youngest, she's 13. But well, my oldest, they will be gone soon. And that was a kind of realization. Oh my God. So, and I was really intentional about what I do with them, how I engage them into something that I am interested in, so that it's interesting, like for both parties.
Mhm,
And I think that at the beginning, I felt like guilty feeling, like I'm not investing that time in my business. But well, family is priceless, and absolutely number one in my life.
mhm,
And business comes second, especially that my family is kind of a I would say support foundation for me.
mhm.
If
Absolutely.
it's not here, well, I don't know. Probably I won't talking to like I wouldn't talk to you today, right? So they are supporting me in all my projects with my exams and other stuff too. So
So
I'm
mhm.
yeah.
Sorry, but like what you said, and when you were telling me about spending time with your kids, more time with your kids is also helping me, which we talked about challenging each other, having a business bestie, helping me take the time to spend more time with my kids. I remember,
Oh,
like when you said that, I was like, oh my God, that is actually because like now I have a junior high kid. I was like, oh my,
yep.
what happened? So now we're spending more time doing, we're still like doing bedtime routine, like, just spending more time talking. And mostly they just want to be listened to, at least in this stage of their life. They just want to know that mommy is there listening to them. So we tend to do a lot of that. But that was because when you shared your experience and like how now they're going off to college, and I was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, that will be me soon. So I better
Yeah.
start spending more time
And
together.
yes, and that will hit soon. And that's why, and also, high school is important, right?
Yeah.
So how to not to lose them and not to lose this connection.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something. So yeah, we are definitely how you said that not layer, but
Multi-talented, multitasking, yeah, all of
yes, we are. I don't know. We have multiple roles in our lives. That's for sure. That's for sure.
it.
Well, Victoria, and finally, if your business had a theme song,
Oh,
what would it be?
oh, this is good. I think it would be "This Girl Is on Fire."
I love it.
So yeah, because I resonate with that a lot. I think that at this stage in my life, I'm being more open to doing things and just going for it. And I feel like I'm on fire. Let's go. Whatever ideas that I have, I have you to talk to my husband, and but I'm not letting anything hold me back because I am actually intentionally living my dream. So I'm on
Mhm.
fire. That's a theme song.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And it's totally aligned with your strengths. Do you remember your strengths? We did that assessment with you. So, yes, this is you. That's why feels so natural. I
Mhm.
love that.
Thank
Well,
you.
Victoria, yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story and your wisdom with us today. Your journey is such a reminder that, well, visibility isn't just about being seen, right? It's about showing up with courage, with clarity and purpose. And if you want to connect with Victoria or learn more about her studio or even visit, you will find all the links in the show notes. And if this conversation sparked something in you, if well, and probably if it's time to shape an offer that actually sells or finally clarify your message so it lands with your right people. This is the work I do with my clients. Well, reach out and let's make your business one that works, feel good, and gets paid. And don't miss our next episode with Rushka Lee. Rushka is a fierce advocate for doing business in alignment, not burnout. And she's also the founder of the world's first global program for neurodivergent teens. And her mission is also clear. We were not made to fit in, we were born to lead differently. Until then, thank you for joining me in the Inside Out Shift. Subscribe, comment, and share with others. Thank you.
Thank you.